Hello, in my new video. Today we're going to take a look at some gameplay by Aerosol here in the Open Great League with a super spicy team. We're going to have a team here with the Lycanroc having access to counter is pretty okay against this Obstagoon here. It's not too good either because they also have counter, but you're going to be able to get some energy. We have a Bayleef here, which has now 2 buffs basically to it because it actually learns a Tackle. I didn't know that, but Tackle got boosted as well from Niantic this season, which now generates more energy. It generates more energy than the other move it would have, which would be Razor Leaf. If it's better, that's questionable, but at least it's kind of funny as a say-so here because it can maybe pick up some matchups that you wouldn't expect. We have to see about this. We will see that they have still the Meganium in the back and they will be able to win this one here as Meganium will easily win against the Swampert. There's nothing that the Swampert can do here. They go for the Ido Cannon bait and is going to be over here right now. A very interesting team. I like that you have the pre-evolution of Meganium and Meganium together in one team. Very fun one there. Actually interested how the shadow version of Bayleef would also play out there. We will see here the Altaria in the lead. Are you gonna go straight for your rock move there, like your Stone Edge? No, you're going to go for the bait here. Understandable, you kind of need to get rid of the shields, but they're actually going to no shield here and you're going to go straight for another one, which is going to be a tough one now. You will get this thing lower, but not maybe low enough. You can go for another one at least. This will get the first shield by the opponent most likely. Yes, exactly, as you now will be able to farm down with your Bayleef. You're going to let one move go through, which is going to do some massive damage, but you still survive at least one. They're gonna get to another one, maybe. No, they're not. You will be able to farm down with Tackle before. And we see a Registeel coming in. Back in the day, Meganium was the preferred grass type in the Great League because it was able to beat the Registeel as well as some of the water types, like also Lantern back in the day was more common than it was before the move update. But also like something like the Azumarill was pretty common where Meganium really tried to shine there. We will be able to now see that they can farm it all the way down. They have to shield once though, and this is important that they shield. It's going to be another surf. We will see the Registeel coming back in. You go straight for the Earthquake. This is a little bit risky. Do they no shield? They're going to shield up. And I think you're going to go down here. You will be able to go for another Grass Knot, which is going to do some damage, but you will not put them into range, where you can just go straight for one Frenzy Pen to knock them out. You have to reach another Earthquake. Now, I'm not sure if you're going to get there. I think you get farmed down by the lock on prior, and you had to bait there, I guess. Kind of sad, but it's fine. We see the next opponent having a Marrowak in the lead. This is kind of awkward, to be honest, because Marrowak matchup against Lycanroc is actually not that bad, as they have access to the move Bone Club, which is super effective. Still, of course, new move here, the Stone Edge going to destroy the opponent. They're crazy. Okay, that was kind of lucky. And we will see the Noctowl coming in, which is amazing for you because thanks to the Tackle and thanks to the Ancient Power boost, which is the second boost where you actually get the boost of the boost, you will be able to now do some nice damage against the Noctowl, which is amazing, as you can go for another one which either gets the shield or knocks them out, which is kind of crazy. You will be able to get the shield from a Noctowl, and there's definitely where Tackle comes in clutch. You will be able to now shield up the Shadow Ball coming in, and you have a pretty okayish time with this Scrafty in the back. You will be able to get one debuff on them here. They're going to no shield it, of course. You're going to get to another move, which they most likely also going to no shield, to be fair, as this Meganium now tries to farm it down. Very good recognition of the Wincon there, trying to farm down now with the Meganium. It's very smart. Letting this move go through is also very smart. They're running Acid Spray, which is kind of crazy. Next opponent, we will see a Swampert in the lead. Horrible lead. They're going to swap out immediately into their Bayleef most likely, as we see the Skarmory coming in. This will be a tough one. Let's see what they can do. They can go for one Ancient Power. Do they get the boost? They don't get the boost, but they're going to get the Skarmory pretty low, which is nice. But I think the Skarmory just decides to farm them all the way down. Ancient Power comes through again. Got buffed in terms of damage, I think, but got debuffed in terms of the boost that you potentially can get. As we see that the Skarmory goes for another move here, going to be the Sky Attack, and they can go for one Brave Bird now. Let's see, they're going to actually let this move go through. It's going to be a Sky Attack again. I don't know why they went for Sky Attack. They won't reach another one. That didn't really make any sense at all. You can store one move and you can swap out into your Meganium against this Sableye. I think you actually might be able to win the 2-shield scenario against this Pokemon. You will basically have the same counts as them, but because you got some extra energy prior, you're going to have a little bit of a better matchup, and you might be able to swap swap in later your Lycanroc against this Pokemon, as you have already some energy there, but you should be able to outspeed them to the final Frenzy Plant afterwards. So they just overfarmed. You can go ahead and go for one shield here. You will be able to knock them out with this Frenzy Plant here, and this will be a interesting matchup here. As you're going to go into your Lycanroc, you have to go for one charge move here. This Psychic Fangs comes through, you're going to get this thing low. They're going to throw here, which is nice for you, because I think you still survive one Hydro Cannon, and you should be able to farm them all the way down, winning this game. Very good game there. Into the next one. We see a Trevenant, and this thing beats your entire team, so there's nothing that you can really do here. Going to be interesting how you're going to be able to beat this Pokemon now, but yeah, Trevenant will be able to beat the entire team. You might want to try to swap into your Bayleef to catch the move, but no, you go straight into your Bayleef, and one Shadow Ball will not knock you out, but it will get you close. So this Shadow Ball going to come through. We see the next horrible Pokemon against you with the Nidoqueen here. You will get this thing low, but I think you can already forfeit. I don't know like how you're supposed to win this game anymore. This will be most likely an Earth Power. You're going to shield up. You can farm them all the way down. You will be able to get to 2 moves against the incoming Trevenant, maybe. Let's see what they're going to do. Most likely it's going to be the Trevenant. It is a Trevenant. You can go for one Psychic Fangs. You will be able to get the first shield by the opponent. You can go for another Psychic Fangs. And maybe you get another shield, who knows? You will be able to do this. You're going to try to catch the move, didn't work out. They can go for one Shadow Ball, and you're going to be lower again. Unless they have something like a Swampert in the back. They have a Lantern in the back. You might actually still have a chance now. Lantern will not go down by this, but no, never mind. Like, they will get to another move here in time. They will knock you out here. And I don't think that the Trevenant is in range for your Lycanroc yet. You will be able to go for one Psychic Fang still, but I'm not sure if this is enough to KO the Trevenant. Let's see. It is not enough, and you're going to lose this game, sadly, but very close game still. Like, for basically getting hard-rolled and you having no answers for a Trevenant, this was a pretty decent one. And we will see here the Umbreon. Umbreon is actually a pretty decent matchup. Of course, your Psychic Fangs will not be the best choice against it, but Counter plus Stone Edge should do some pretty nice damage. They're going to go for one more extra charge move here, which forces you to shield up. You're gonna go for your Stone Edge. This might knock them out already. Let's see, it does knock them out. Stone Edge is doing a ton of damage, and we see a Stunfisk coming in. You save your moves, which is, I think, the right decision, especially as we see a Jumpluff coming in here. And you might need them now later for some damage against this. The boost might actually help you a lot here. Let's see if you can still survive now with those acrobatics. You will be able to survive it. I think the boost really helps you here, as you can go for another Ancient Power, get this thing lower and lower, and you will be able to now go ahead, let this move go through most likely. And you might want to bait here now, but I'm not sure. You're gonna go for the bait, yeah. You're gonna go for the bait with Psychic Fangs. Psychic Fangs going to not get shielded, but you're going to get the defense drops. And if they're going to let this move go through here, which they do, you can now go into your Meganium here, and they have to throw the Rock Slides. And Rock Slide doesn't do as much damage. They need like at least like 3, I think, to KO you here. Let's see if they're gonna go for all of them, but even then, you should be fine. You will be able to now just shield up the next move. You should be able to go for another move here, and even if they survive by a like slight amount of health there, you still have your Lycanroc in the back, but I think one Frenzy Plant should be enough to knock them out at this point of time. Let's see how much damage it's going to do. It's going to knock them out, and we go into the next game. Next opponent, we will see an Altaria in the lead again, at least where you want to face it, but of course it's a horrible matchup in general for the team. If they just 2-shield, you would lose this pretty easily, but they decide to swap into their Swampert. Interesting decision by them, but good for you, because you're going to get the shield from them as well. They're most likely going to have a Sludge Drive here, so shielding against you is fine, but never mind, they're going to go for the Hydro Cannon. Going to get some damage on you, but I don't think you are really in range where they can farm you down with the Altaria. They're most likely still going to have to throw one charge move against you, as we will see that this one will basically do nothing. It's double resisted, and Altaria is pretty bulky, as you're going to swap out now, which is smart because you still have your Bayleef in the back, which you're going to have a decent time. You're going to get the final shield by them, and you can let this move go through, as you still have Ancient Power damage, which you can get on them. And we will see them going into a Lantern. This allows you now to get extra energy, but it would be way more beneficial if you wait a little bit longer, as you would have been able then to go into your Meganium, but I think you're going to just let the moves go through, try to wait out the switch clock here, try to go into your Meganium now, keep the energy stored for the Altaria, knock them out here, let them farm you down, and you should be fine winning this game pretty easily now against this Altaria, as they don't get to 2 charge moves, and you will be able to get to 2 charge moves because you're already on them. Interesting play by the opponent to swap out into the Lantern. I think if they didn't do this, this would be a good game, but like this, you definitely have the opportunity now to go for another Ancient Power, knock out the Altaria, and win this game here. Very well played as well. Having the coverage, the rock coverage on this Bayleef is so nice. Bayleef in general is a very bulky Pokemon. It's a very cool Pokemon. Just wish it had like a little bit better charge move instead of the Grass Knot. Grass Knot usually doesn't really cut it for anything. They're just better moves available, and also like cheaper moves available that are better, so Grass Knot is not really the best move, sadly. It's still not a bad move, but it's not great. And also Ancient Power it's a good coverage move, but like on this Pokemon it's a little bit tricky. You will not get to another move, sadly, against the Skarmory, but you can go back into your own it's called Lycanroc there. They go for the Brave Bird immediately, which means they don't reach to another one. This is a Sky Attack, you can survive it and you will be able to farm them all the way down. But this is a tough one, as you can now swap out into your Meganium. Swampert comes back in, let's see what we will see here. They go for one charge move, you're going to shield up as well. You have one move stored on the back, you're going to shield this Sludge Wave, which is amazing for you, as we see the Sableye coming in. You will be able to outspeed them, I think. I think you're fine here, but I'm not sure. You have some energy advantage, but I think you might actually have to swap into your Lycanroc later on to catch a move. Let's see what you can do here. We see that they're going to shield this move up. You can actually not swap out in time, but you still get to the Frenzy Plant in time. Maybe you can swap out now, maybe you don't want to swap out. You swap out immediately and go for the charge move to knock them out. Maybe one counter would have been a little bit better actually, but this is fine, as you now have the Swampert aligned against the Meganium. You will be able to farm down before they can go for one Sludge Wave, and I think this Hydro Cannon will not be enough to knock you out, and you will be able to win the game by 1 HP. That was so close. Next opponent, we see a Medicham in the lead. You have to swap out immediately, and your team in general is pretty weak to Medicham. Medicham usually runs the move Ice Punch, which is going to be super effective against you, and also Counter, which is super effective against you. This might be the team that I usually use every season to hit Legend, because it's so simple to cheat your way basically through it, because it's all super bulky, super XL. And against normal teams, it's just way too strong. We have the Lickitung against you here. They're most likely going to have something like the Bastion in the back, but you might still have a decent-ish play here. You're going to shield up because the Power Whip would most likely knock you out immediately. You will be able to farm them all the way down. And we will see the Medicham coming in, as they have actually a Diggersby in the back. This is way better for you, as Diggersby cannot take moves as easily. You will be able to go for one more Frenzy Plant here, get the shield, and you still have some energy stored on your Lycanroc, which might come in handy later. They have Fire Punch though, which is going to do some damage, not a ton of damage, but some damage at least, as you can go for another Frenzy Plant, get the final shield by the opponent. You can take one, you still have to take one anyway, but you're going to shield the first move up here. You might be able to catch one, but no way. You can actually go for the Frenzy Plant in time. This is amazing, as this will now knock out the opponent's Diggersby. You go straight into your Lycanroc, which is an interesting play. Very interesting play actually. You go straight for the Psychic Fangs, and you might be able to reach a third one, but I'm not sure. You actually will be able to reach a third one, which will knock out the opponent here. Very nice play there, knowing your Lycanroc, knowing that it can survive some counter still, and you will be able to win this game. Next opponent, horrible lead matchup again, and horrible Side Swap against you as well. We see the Deoxys defense and the Skarmory here. Both Pokemon that you don't see as often, but in this scenario it's horrible for you, especially Deoxys defense. You don't really have the best answers for it, but you at least here can take this Sky Attack. They're going to undercharge it, which is interesting, and you can go for another Ancient Power, getting this closer to being into farm down range for the Lycanroc to just farm it all the way down. You will be able to go for one Stone Edge against the incoming Deoxys defense maybe. I'm not sure if you want to go for it, but you should reach it out definitely in time then. This will not knock you out, it's only a Sky Attack, and you will be able to go for one more Stone Edge. Let's see if they're going to do it. They're going to go straight for the Stone Edge. Now you have basically a 3-shield version of this Meganium, as of course you have the Lycanroc still in the back, as we see an Umbreon coming in. This looks like a horrible matchup for you now. Umbreon will be able to take a ton of energy here from you. This thing is so bulky, this thing is so strong, but you can also take those moves from them. Very interesting scenario here, because you don't know if they want to keep the shields for their Deoxys, but they're actually going to shield up their Umbreon, which I think is better for you. You will be able to shield up as well. So you still have your shield basically in the back there with the Lycanroc. is you will be able to go for one more Frenzy Plant, going to get the final shield by the opponent. Are you going to catch this move? And you will be able to catch the move. This might change everything for you as this foul play going to come through. The Deoxys is pretty low. You will be able to go for the Frenzy Plant in time. This should knock out the Deoxys defense, as this will knock out the Deoxys defense, and you will be able to reach another charge move in time, and the opponent decides to forfeit. Thanks for watching, thanks for sending those battles, and leave a like if you haven't already. See you next one, have a great rest of your day, bye!